I've now clicked the Go Live button on YouTube. So I believe anybody could tune in anytime and start hearing me. This is great. Welcome to what hopefully will be a broadcast of a Homeworlds game. I'm working on getting in touch with the players and the other commentator. So if you are watching this later as a video, you can probably skip ahead about 10 minutes until we actually have everything worked out. I think right now maybe I will call Steve and see what he's up to. Let's see. Stevie, are you there? Can you hear me? Stevie, I do not hear you. I'm asking Stevie if he can hear me. On Discord, Stevie, your portrait does not have a green circle. Stevie says he cannot hear me. Figuring out the audio for streaming and talking to people at the same time has been possibly the greatest adventure I have encountered for all this streaming and playing process. Okay, Stevie says he's going to restart either his computer or Discord. I'm not sure which. Stevie's got a microphone problem. Let's see, in the meantime, I'm going to try starting a group chat for the people who may be playing today. We haven't had a firm commitment from one of our players yet. If he's not available, then we'll rearrange things a little bit. Maybe I will play with dlwillson while Steve just watches and talks. Earlier today, Stevie and I both joined the Looney Labs Silver Jubilee celebration event where several people got to team up against Andy, play him at Homeworlds together. And the two other players there were not particularly experienced, so it was mostly Stevie and I that were deciding what moves we should make against Andy. So Stevie and I have got to chat for a while today already. We won, by the way. Andy played well, but having two people to talk about strategy and watch out for major mistakes, and one of us would propose a move and the other would suggest a modification to it, and we'd bat things back and forth. Having two people to talk about moves can be very helpful. I think it was a stronger game for having had both of us to talk about it. If I were really clever, I might be able to find a way to actually display that game here. While we're waiting for Stevie and others to get in touch. Here's a moment from that game. There's my... Oh, let's see. There's a moment from the game with my typed record of the game going on over on the side. The Hive Mind, Stevie and I and some others are on the right, and Andy's on the left. You can see there, this was an important moment in the game where we had a pretty clear advantage. We had good ship diversity. We got a red ship for the first time. Andy at this point had to pick one of his ships to trade away to become red, and he didn't really want to. That was a inconvenient moment for it. Stevie, you're there. Yes. I hear.
Sorry about that. Are we live on this?
I am broadcasting right now, but this is sort of a pre-game chit chat right now is what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just came in late. My audio wasn't working, and I'm glad I'm back.
Nope, that's fine. This is just for fun. I wanted to try starting the stream earlier than before, and just right now it's just displaying mostly blank screen. It says starting soon, and for the, I believe, one person who is listening right now, I was talking about the game with Andy a little bit.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
It showed
a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, that was a lot of I really had a good time. It looks like I am speaking a little louder than you, so I am turning down my microphone volume slightly. I've got this enormous control panel with knobs
Well,
and
beware, I
sliders.
may increase my volume.
Okay, well, we shall see. I believe OBS is moving this little volume meter back and forth as you're speaking too, so I hope you're being streamed as well.
I hope so.
I just upgraded from voice meter banana to potato, if that means anything to you.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know if potato is more likable than banana, but I guess it's more substance, so I suppose that's good.
The there's a fairly basic program that's just called voice meter, and then banana and potato are the more advanced versions. They give you more virtual audio devices and more control. I needed more audio devices for all the fanciness that I'd like to be able to achieve, but I also have more knobs than I know what to do with. This I feel like I'm at airplane controls here.
Let's hope we don't crash.
I've got a little bit of a filter on my voice to. Oh no, I am going to.
Working. Well, it sounds good to me, but I don't know if I'm hearing the filter or not.
I believe you are.
Well, it's good.
I when I listened before, I thought that my voice was in sort of a too much of a bass register. It didn't pick up very well. I thought it was kind of hard to hear compared to other commentators. I'm just going to let the players know.
Yeah, well, I think whenever we hear our own voice, we're always like, "Oh wait, that's not how I sound." So how far in the game with Andy did you?
Go ahead and put this back up on the screen here
No, I'm not seeing.
of how I was using multiple Windows desktops, and because I had OBS on a different desktop, the website was not updating properly when I was not on the same
Okay.
desktop. So I think that was part of our lag problem before.
Hopefully that won't occur then. This will be exciting. I'm a big fan of Trydnt. He's extremely strong player. I like watching his game, so this will be exciting. Like they're all the players are in the lobby. Both Trydnt and
Mhm.
dlwillson.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch the view to... Okay, I've switched the stream view to the lobby. And here we are, we're just waiting for players to come in. I think I'm going to change... Earlier, I changed my settings so that my cursor would not be displayed in the stream. I'm going to turn it back on. When I was just observing and not actually doing any commentary, sometimes my cursor would catch the window, and you would see my cursor flying by. As I was, oops, oh, geez, I just closed the window on accident. Okay, and it was kind of distracting.
I could see that, but I'm glad that
Okay, I think I
you'll
got
have
back.
your cursor so you can illustrate, like pointing at
Yes,
a different
I'd like to point at stuff. I wish that you were able to do that too.
Yeah,
But
I guess.
at least there are there are, what I'm trying to say, system numbers printed so that you can
Yeah, I'll
describe what you're
verbally
talking
describe.
about.
Yeah, I'll verbally describe as much as possible, and I know that we're trying to do this with as little or no post as possible. But I guess we could do like at some point down the road have like a illustration of like drawing circles or whatever, but superimposed on
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
system.
yeah, I have kind of figured out how to do that actually with have Paint
Wait,
open in a little side window, but it's quite a bit of
the players are in their
extra
room.
hassle. All
Just so you
right,
know that the
the
players have started their game,
yep.
and it looks like D. Wilson is playing first, and it started with in a fortress blue red, a blue 3, and a R2, large green chip. Right, and still deciding.
Yeah, I have got their names in the wrong spot, and this is really quite frustrating. For
For
some
me,
reason,
Trident's
OBS
on
doesn't
the.
work properly in studio mode.
So of course they're both going to build a G1 in their first move. Looks like a Trydnt has Esther with a blue small and a yellow star, which we'll see if yellow, which the blue, green, try to get a lockout, but Trident won't let him and take the blue. But dlwillson will definitely take the 2, and so does Trident. Oh, I'm sorry, Trident tried the lockout. The Trident's at the top, correct?
No, Trydnt is at
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yes, that's right. Okay, good.
So the
Yeah,
timers over here, the top one or the one on the left, if you've got the
yeah.
horizontal layout, is always the first player, the player who has homeworld number 1, and that's dlwillson, and so
Mhm.
he's at the top.
Got
We
it.
can see from the numbers. Okay, they've been
Excellent.
moving really fast. Um,
Yes, they are. So definitely with the swapping to yellow, I know that Trident likes to get that yellow 2 as soon as possible, but he
mhm.
swapped his blue 2 for a yellow 2, while it looks like it was D. Wilson. Just, or should I just say Wilson? Wilson, swapped the blue 1 for the yellow 1. Just drew another one. But
Yeah, I think Trydnt probably didn't want to trade his blue 1 for for a yellow because that would have given Wilson the opportunity to build the medium yellow. Instead, he traded the
Yeah.
medium, so now he's got it. Boy, they're moving faster than we can talk about the moves.
Yeah, well, I can see
That's good.
that Trydnt wanted to build another green one rather than he's going to look to build the yellows, but not in his home world because he
Mm-hmm.
has a yellow star. So he moved out to a G3 system, and he swapped his green for a red, so he has
Yep.
some defense.
And some aggression. So if Wilson wants to get a red right now and be safe, he's going to have to trade away a ship that is
One of
the only ship of that color in some system. So he'll either lose the only blue
well,
that he's got in his colony, or the only yellow he's got in his colony, or the only green in his
in
home,
that,
or the only red, or the only yellow in his home. So that's
yeah,
this is one of my favorite things to do is trade for red at a moment that's inconvenient for my opponent to match me.
that's a great point.
We did that to Andy as well. That was the moment in the game that I showed on the screen I was talking about. So yeah, so Trydnt, I bet he's going to invade. I think he's going to move his Y2 from 4 to 3.
Because yes, Wilson was not able to pull a gun yet. He grew the G1, hoping probably to swap it, but it's too late for that.
Yeah, there he
Here
goes.
comes. Ooh, a build action. Ooh, is he going to
Interesting.
build two yellows there? Yes, he is. Oh,
Ah,
and a yellow at the homeworld. Ouch.
interesting. Okay. Oh, that was good. Yeah, all right. I did
That
not
was
think of
right.
that.
He's definitely up on points now.
Wilson's up on material now.
I wonder if Wilson was hoping to lure him into that.
I wonder if that was deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel silly that I was suggesting that I was so sure that that was a good move now. Um,
No, well, these are great players,
mhm.
both of them.
Yeah.
And just watching game 230 with Trydnt and Meme, I believe they goes by.
Hmm.
Um, that game was a great illustration of shutouts and economy game, and
Hmm.
exactly how much you were building and MA. But let's focus on this game for now. Uh, what? Yeah, he's going for a
So
red shutout. That's right.
Wilson forged ahead with more yellow, and Trident's got all of the small reds. So Wilson will have, if he's going to get into red, which he should do at some point, he's going to have to get in at the medium level. His
Yes.
only medium at the moment is the blue, though he could, if I were DL Wilson, I would seriously consider continuing to build yellow.
To
Um,
block out the yellows. I was about to say the same thing. I think that's his motive when he moved out to Star 3.
mhm.
I think his motive is to grow the second yellow or the last of the 1 pip yellows at Star 3. But of course,
Yeah,
Trident doesn't mind. He's going to go for the reds in Star 5.
and combination of at 5 and in his home. I don't like putting red ships alone in green systems, even though I can build a ship or two there. That's what I call the
They're not going to.
classic Gilligan. Uh, they are ships that cannot get out. They can't trade to other colors and they can't move. All they can do is build and attack if anybody comes in.
Looks like Wilson built that extra blue at Star 3,
Yeah,
I think, but bought his blue too for a red
mhm.
without losing his only blue.
That's probably
I think
why. Yeah. I'm a little
Trident.
surprised that Trident didn't build a red 2 immediately. Oh, maybe. Ah, okay, this is good. So he's doing it
Now he's
now.
going to factory.
He can
He's going to
do
factory
sacrificing the green.
for the
Yeah.
Knights. Yeah, factory got all. He's
Hmm.
getting 3 reds out of
And
that.
he's got this looks like a lot of power, but these are Gilligans. They can't get out.
Yes, they are. He's going to have to either grow some blue and use them to sacrifice to do some swaps. Come down to it, but
Move the blues
that's
out
in.
there, and
Yeah,
he could build another. Right, could build another blue and then move one of these blues to one of these unhealthy colonies.
thing.
Wilson's thinking about doing other things besides building that red 3. I think that red 3 is probably just too valuable. I think he's going to decide that he needs to build it.
Yeah, I think so too. There it goes.
Yep, he committed it.
Yep, he was looking to shut out, trying to keep Trydnt from getting back the green
Mm-hmm.
because and try to swap his yellow, but he was like, I'd be down another a 3-pip ship, so he decided to grab it. Now the question is,
Yeah, there he goes.
yeah,
He traded the large red for large green, so now he can build another large red.
Wilson can still grab that extra red without fear because there's no yellows.
Oh, that's true. Trydnt has no yellow anywhere, so he could build. So Wilson can build that red.
I think he's gonna do it.
I think he should.
He dropped that red in his lap. I think it's gonna happen. He's got a blue at the system. He can swap it into whatever he needs. Another yellow 3. With,
3 is a nice healthy colony. He'll be able to trade that red for something else or move it out.
And Trydnt's in no position to really threaten the star there to really try to blow it up to take out the entire fleet.
No, that would be not. Yeah. That's one of the I'm subject to that for sure. Is putting too much stuff in one colony and then somebody will catastrophe my star. Oh no! I think that
was a blunder.
I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think that was a serious mistake that Wilson could have capitalized on it. Should have done it. And
I think so.
Trydnt definitely saw that and snatched it up as soon as possible. You can see how fast that move went.
Yeah, he did not wait very long on that one.
He's like, nope, I'm not letting that just sit there any longer. He saw, I think Trydnt didn't see that at first when he gave the opportunity to the red, but recovered quickly from that. So
I think Wilson, now would be well advised to taking the yellows to the extent that he can, but Trydnt will be able to sacrifice this little blue to trade any of his ships for yellow.
That's right. And he'll do it for one of his large reds where he'll be able to grow it again, possibly.
Maybe.
If he swaps it for a yellow, just, we'll see.
Okay.
But he's going to have to grow another blue, and he will at the
Wilson picked the blue instead, yeah.
He did. Which, I'm surprised about that. But
I am a little surprised. Although, Trydnt shouldn't build another blue right now, necessarily. There's a risk of catastrophe. But to do that catastrophe, Wilson, I think what you're about to say is that Wilson would have to sacrifice one of his only 2 large ships, and would have to retreat right away. So that would be a very heavy cost. Okay,
and so it wasn't a rush for Trydnt, so he moved out to be able to do it because there's plenty of blue in the bank, and it's not going to go away. Just he's moving out to do it safely without loss.
Not doing the sacrifice even.
And it also doubles with that needing to get to blue out to one of these small colonies so that they can start trading into the yellow.
Interesting. So he sacrificed the little blue to trade the at Gilligan at 7 for a.
I think he did it to stymie the bank a bit, to block the blue too.
He may have been he may have been anticipating that Trydnt would do something like this, trade his large red for another color, and is preemptively blocking that. Well, though in a sense also he's blocking himself, because if Wilson hadn't put that medium red in the bank and Trydnt had traded that large red, then Wilson would have got to build that large red.
Well, that was just it. That Trydnt took advantage of that medium red blocking the bank for his chance to swap out one of his large reds for the yellow, and safely doing that without giving Wilson the red.
Right. I'm questioning the wisdom of Wilson's choice to sacrifice the blue to trade for yellow.
Yeah, I think he's trying to capitalize on a lot of that yellow, knowing that it's one of his opponent's homeworld stars.
And I'm coming around to thinking that Wilson was not crazy for doing that, because by having another yellow add another system here,
Yeah.
it's that much faster that he can build more yellow.
Yeah.
But by putting two ships at a system where he doesn't have a large to defend with, um,
True.
there's a
But
he,
but
he
it could only be like the only ship that's going to be able to make it there that's a large is going to be the yellow, and he could grow another. If he
Mhm.
needed to catastrophe it, take out Trydnt's only yellow ship.
Yes, he'd probably be quite happy with that. What I'm actually, uh, um, if Trydnt had had another medium ship
Mhm.
available to invade seven with, then D.L. Wilson he's got one red ship and attack anywhere else. So a
But
large red is
I'm
not.
surprised of that. I'm surprised he did that. I would have imagined that Trydnt would have grown that medium yellow. Well, I guess he just wanted to keep the yellow three out of his off of his Trydnt wool factory for red here. Red's at the home world,
Mhm.
and I think it's safe for him to just take out that growth, like at maybe star
And
five.
and by
But if he only
sacrifice you
puts
mean move it into catastrophe.
yes, yes, just yes, go into catastrophe. Like if I believe if Trident's going to factory and put the homeworld
That's
and
good.
six,
Yep.
he's gonna be safe. I think it's a worthwhile endeavor to do.
I had at first been picturing one of the large at a colony being in the colony with three ships, but no, your way is much better. Sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
the green three, build a red two and five, a red three and six, and a red three back at his home. He's got three ships of the or two ships of the same color at his home, which is ordinarily pretty dangerous. But Wilson only has
Right.
one red ship. That's not enough to create a catastrophe at his home. He could move that
The
red
only,
three into five for the catastrophe, but losing his second large for just a or two mediums and a small is and in particular.
which Wilson should try and get ahead of him on the game, I think. But well, I guess he couldn't because then Trident will get the larger blues. It's interesting because Triton's got the only large green that's available as a ship. The others are stars. So he, I guess he could wait on that factory. I think it is Wilson's move at this point, and I don't know what his choice is going to be if he's going to grab that medium two, if he's going to start getting into, getting a little bit more green there.
Mm-hmm.
Green at the homeworld possibly help. Then he could swap it for diversifying his color scheme. Well, he doesn't want to put more blue or
He's
red in his homeworld.
no. I think
So
I think maybe what Wilson needs to be doing is um, competing for the blues. Wilson has enough yellow for
yeah.
to demolish Trident's yellow star. He needs blue to get the other one.
But here's the
I think.
problem now. I think Wilson's in a great position. Now, I would not suggest Trydnt should factory at this point because if that's the case, if he factories, well, he can. He can spread it out so he wouldn't have enough. He would still
Hmm.
have only two red. Um, the point would be is that if Trydnt tried it now, I believe Wilson could sacrifice a two pip yellow, move two yellow ships in. In the case where if he captures one, you can if there was three red in the home world, he could switch one of them into red and do a catastrophe. But it's but now he won't have to do that because before we were looking at he might have a bit more at the home world, but
Looks like he's thinking about just building that green. In this position, I think I would have done the red factory.
he's rethinking it. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, he took it
He
back.
wants to have more than one color though. Right now, I was thinking Wilson might be able to send enough ships in to kind of swap into red, but I don't think the colors are going to be there once he factories they won't be in the bank.
Hmm.
He should just he should do it.
It,
He'll be
it's it's
safe.
scary. It's scary to have ships of only one color in your home. But if it's only two of them
But
and you've completely
and
locked
it's
your
red.
opponent out of, yeah, and you've completely locked your opponent out of that color to the point that he cannot cause a catastrophe, then
right?
it is safe as long as he's careful.
Yeah, he should do
Not
it. He
to
should definitely.
He'll just need to be very careful not to let Wilson get another red.
That's what I was. Yeah, I was thinking you'd be Wilson might be able to send in. No,
No,
he's
he
not.
took the green.
He's still.
Okay.
I guess he's still waiting on maybe for Wilson to try to grab the red. I guess he can wait on it because he's building slowly, knowing that if Wilson tries, to grab that red, he'll just send in two small um, red ships in there and destroy his Wilson's only or his half of his blue, half of his 3-pip ships.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he can still wait on it. Yeah.
I think
And that way he'll still have green at the home world to diversify and be able to grow back green when needed.
Yeah, I think Trydnt may have just been uncomfortable with one color at his home, and he'll red factory next time.
Yeah.
I think both players should be going for the blues right now. My guess is that neither of them wants to be the player to build the small blue, allowing the
Yes.
other person to get the medium.
Yes.
But
But since Wilson has those ships at star 8, it might. I mean, he wants to keep his yellows for his star demolition there, so he doesn't want to swap into blue yet. But that would be a good spot for him to do it. I think it's because it's so close to the Trydnt's homeworld.
mm-hmm.
Doesn't have enough other ships, so he would have to. I was thinking he might swap one of those yellows, but he wants to keep all of the yellows, all the small yellows, out of Trydnt's
Mm-hmm.
hands.
Yeah, I think so.
So do you,
Oh,
he
interesting.
moved up. He's moving for a yellow star demolition.
Yeah, I think that's premature. I think he's in danger of
And here goes
spending
the
too
factory
much.
for the red. Trydnt's going to grab the 3 reds for his fleet, so he'll have the red at the home world. Medium. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a fine spot, I guess. And then
I think the large goes in 9, yeah,
mhm.
and a large in 2.
Yep, 9 at home. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised he didn't actually build the medium at 9 as well. No. Yeah, this is best diversified. 1, 2.
Trydnt, though, in order to achieve a star demolition, he's going to have to sacrifice the large yellow, and if he does it too early, then I don't
Right.
like the result. Oh, you know what? Wilson needs to build that little blue right now, I think, because he can actually start taking advantage of the fortress situation. If he
Yes.
builds that little blue, that's the last small piece available for discovery for a new star. Trydnt,
Right.
I think, would like to establish another forward base at a small star so that
Would.
he can spread out his reds before his invasion. Wilson,
I
if he
think his star
builds that
9
little,
is he will defend it though, and isn't likely to be catastrophe play. Ooh, Wilson.
oh,
Oh, trying to build that yellow.
I think he's sure to build that yellow. I really
Yeah.
do doubt that that was
Right.
wise.
Yeah, I think trying. Where would you suggest? 5 or 6?
Doesn't matter much.
I would think almost
Maybe it's
5. Do you
I,
think
I
6?
I might put it at 6 just because it's got the blue available. He could trade it for a large
Oh yeah,
blue if he was so inclined, and maybe build it back again. Um,
absolutely. That's a good choice.
although Wilson
Yeah,
has
but build
is despite trading away that yellow, Wilson is still ahead in, yeah, he's building 6.
Yep, and I can see why.
Wilson is still just as well prepared to build yellow as
I was thinking of
Trident
trying to
is.
diversify the fleet more, but
Okay,
but
he's going in.
yeah.
He sent in a little guy.
And then once, yeah, if he captures it, he'll send in. He'll have to sacrifice his 2 pip at 3 to send in
Mhm.
both those skills. But it's Triton has to capture it I think, and force him to do his hand and not let him slow roll it. Make
Mm-hmm.
him spend his 2 pip. Otherwise,
I
it's
agree.
worth your turn. It's worth the turn of capturing it, because if he doesn't do it right then,
Mm-hmm.
Trydnt can send that yellow ship out of the system and he won't be ready.
Yeah. The homes are about to connect.
They are. Definitely. And that's okay, though, that Trydnt at least has enough yellow ships that he could park a yellow 3 at the home world, his home world, and he doesn't need that star anymore.
Mm-hmm. He's yeah. It will be safer for Trydnt to have yellow in his home than it was before, back when he had a yellow star.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's not great for it to be gone. The home world will be connected. It's going to be, but I think Trydnt's going to be in good position. I don't think Wilson has enough knockout punch.
I think this is a classic case of Wilson's got just enough to destroy one star, but he's going to spend so much doing it that the rest of the game will not go his way.
Yeah, he has to sacrifice that to take advantage, or he's he's just giving him chips. So here comes the 2 ships from 8.
Yep.
And the catastrophe. Is he gonna think about it? I mean, it's too late. He already committed, with the ship before.
Yeah, by moving in that first ship, you're committed.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's just gonna that's a large loss to lose a medium like that. But looking at the fleets right now, I think Trydnt's not worse off on this. I think that star demolition is not the worst thing to happen. Oh, let's see. Oof. 2, 3. Oh, there you go.
Oh my!
Boom.
Is he
You
doing
have
it?
no red.
He'll have to trade for red somewhere.
Yep, he only has 1 blue. Well, he can trade at Homeworld because of his star, but
he'd better not. If Wilson were to trade for a red in his homeworld, then he'll get catastrophed. So it's got to be the blue, and his best chance of winning at this point would have been to quickly, very very quickly, gather blue.
Yes.
And he'll have to trade it away, and I think as a result, Trydnt's got this.
I think so too. Yeah, it's going to be a race into the blue now, and Trydnt's got some. Trydnt, could grab up like the larges if he needs to by swapping, but I don't think he would want to. I think he's got some good. I think his ships are perfect for right now. Yeah, Wilson gonna. I mean, they got plenty of time on the clock. Trydnt's up by 5.5.
I do not think that either of them will need nearly as much time as they have available.
That's right. I think
this should be over quite quickly. In fact, if on Wilson has really got to trade that medium blue for a medium red, because otherwise Trydnt will do what we did to Andy earlier in the day. He can sacrifice his large yellow to move 2 large ships into Wilson's home. Yep. Wilson will only be able to capture 1, and Trydnt will be able to sacrifice a red to capture all of the larges in Wilson's home, and then Trydnt just has to gobble everything up.
That is very uncomfortable for Wilson to have to do, but it has to be done to save immediate death.
Yeah, Wilson
as much as he really wants that blue, he's not going to be able to keep it.
Well, and so I guess the thing we should say beyond Wilson, in order to avoid losing in one way, Wilson must trade his medium blue in 3 for a red, but then it's immediately vulnerable to capture. Trydnt can move either of his large yellows into System 3 and prepare to capture it. I guess.
I think it's worthwhile, though. He has to do it anyway.
Otherwise he'll lose, as we just described.
So the best thing to do is you swap it for red, Trident may take a slow, like move in the yellow at 5, or
Hmm.
yeah, probably 5 into star 3, threaten it. Then Wilson's got to grow a green 2 at the home world and turn it into red, even though
Nope,
that's.
nope. There's
I
no
mean,
time.
where else though?
No,
I mean,
he's going to have so unless the game ends even sooner because he makes a mistake, he'll have to
but
sacrifice his little yellow to
to
run
move.
his red away, and he'll have to move it to a yellow star so that it can keep running as
Yes.
Trydnt chases it with his yellow. And then
Oh,
so so
Wilson's in
so
a
he's
tough
so he'll
pickle.
have to keep running, and so Trydnt then, in order to avoid a draw, is going to have to choose to do something other than chasing that medium red around. And I don't
Yeah.
think he'll have any trouble finding other productive things to do.
Oh, oh yeah. He'll start building green, blue.
That's what I foresee for the next couple of moves. Is he's got to trade for red to avoid losing by direct assault. Then Trydnt should move one of his yellows to 3. Wilson's got to sacrifice the little yellow.
The yellow
And
one to
and and
run
in
it.
particular, he's got to sacrifice it to move the now red ship to a yellow star, either medium or large. And
Yeah.
then he's going to have to keep running it around
Little circle.
if Trydnt chases him. This has been a good game. I'm going to want to rewatch some of this to see exactly how this came about. Wilson made a few moves that I definitely call mistakes. In particular, the move
Yeah,
where he could have built a large red, I think it was,
that is
but
it.
passed up the opportunity.
That was.
But Trydnt also had a moment when he could have built I think maybe my memory may be playing tricks with me, but I thought Trydnt also had a moment where he could have built a large red safely and declined.
Well, I believe that he took that red as soon as Wilson passed it up. When Wilson should have, played it. I
Mhm.
believe later. I think Triton had the luxury of waiting on building the reds with the factory idea. I think that's what we might be thinking about.
I was thinking about a non-factory moment, but
Okay.
I could be wrong. It's
Yeah,
one of the
I'll have to
reasons
take a look at it.
I want to review this.
I think it's very unlikely for Wilson to be able to pull it out of the brink
No,
of destruction.
this is quite certainly a foregone. Aha, okay.
Yep.
Well, Wilson resigned.
There you
Wilson
go.
resigned. I think he did the
That's
same calculations as us and
yeah,
decided
that
it
was
was
honorable.
over.
So are they going to play just the one, or are they going to start up another?
Well, my browser so that the properly visible. I don't think that's possible. Um, I don't know. It's been about 40 minutes. Um, we I would be willing to do commentary for one more, I think. But playing is a lot more stressful than commentating, so they may be tired, or they may, or you
Yeah.
know what? I remember Wilson said he had somewhere else to be.
Ah, called it. No, that was a great game. And I highly advise anyone interested in the game. Great play, especially from Trydnt. His last series of games from 230, 231, 232, and this game 233 in the archive is fantastic games to watch. 230 was a great game watching a play on the economy of shutouts and where Neme um, try to circumvent that to get back in by using primarily blue and popping back and trading him back in. But tried to just shut him out of yellow like for the whole game and just kept all this dominant yellow, and it just kept him from moving around freely. Whenever Neme was at a star with yellow and chased with like red,
Mm-hmm.
then like Triton would just run away. It's like, oh, I was at a planet that wasn't yellow. I was yellow. You chased me there. I leave, and now you're a Gilligan.
And you're stuck.
So you're stuck. And it's like, yeah, how many times do you want to do this? Because I can keep running around to these different planets, and you can keep trying to sacrifice yellow to follow if you want. But it was quite fun to watch in game 230. So yeah, absolutely. I'm curious on their commentary to each other right now, their own takes.
Yeah, something I would like to do in the future is record uh, the conversation between the players, and this would also be a much simpler thing to arrange than what we're doing right now. If I simply had the players on a call and the players are talking to one another about what they think about the game, that makes interesting listening. And if I had myself silenced on that call and just made occasional comments about what I thought, if I thought that one of them was missing something, or if I thought that one of them was not mentioning their plan because they're trying to be sneaky and not say anything about it to their opponent, then that's the kind of thing that I could weigh in on stream that I would not be able to say if I were standing over their shoulders and watching.
Absolutely.
So that may be what I try to do next time. It also,
I think recording separate is a good idea, and possibly interjecting it at points, maybe post game, or at certain points, like faded in after the case in post. Because I know that when they're having a conversation, it's hard to be able to on the live swap back and forth to get good details that they're sharing, as well as provide commentary.
yes, having the players record themselves talking would be nice, and we could hear the particular things that we're interested in. I'd like to not have to do that to them, although as I'm thinking about it, I could, for example, be in a voice call with the players, and I can record it for them and take care of it myself. That's another can of worms for me to get into. More video processing. This is stretching the limits of my abilities to do these streams with this nice audio, but I can always learn to do more. So maybe that's something we'll try in the future. I think I'll get ready to close down the stream. Thank you for those who are watching live. There are a couple of you, it seems, and thanks to anybody who watches this as a video later at their leisure. This is part of my Homeworlds weekly series where I've been inviting players to come and play while we watch, and thanks to Stevie for helping me with commentary. Thanks to Trydnt and dlwillson for being willing to have this audience. And if any of you viewers are interested in participating either as a commentator or as a player, you can send me a message. I will be notified if you make a comment on this video. You can contact me by email, babamots@gmail.com, or you can contact me in the Discord server for Homeworlds. I'd be really glad to have more people to call on for these videos. I'm calling on the same few people pretty frequently. I think that's it, unless you've got anything else to say, Stevie.
That's perfect. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much.